Are we live?
We are live because it is Rumble season, baby. I mean, all the surprises. I might be in it. Casey might be in it. Justin might be in
Actually,
it.
it's
You,
playoff season. You know, we
it's
got
playoff season. That's true.
the NFC game coming up. We got the A. We not. Oh, my
We
bad.
we talking the wrestles this time. Okay, that's what we talking about. We talking about Royal Rumble
We
twenty
ain't
twenty
talked
four.
about the wrestles on this channel in like 3 months.
It's been
Actually, we
you know
have, but
what?
you haven't been here.
Yeah, because you missed out on the TNA guys. That's us. That's me and this guy.
Wait. You did a video without me?
We talked about TNA. You don't watch TNA. You ain't
What's
watched TNA
TNA?
since it returned to TNA.
Well, that's because they went out of business again.
That's true. Yeah, they went out of business. Then they came back as TNA, and I was like, "But weren't y'all out of business the last time y'all was TNA?" I thought. But anyway, Royal Rumble 2024. Get your popcorn, get your drink, and we'll be right back. All right, welcome into the Instant Classic Wrestling Podcast, the only podcast that is always, and I mean always, an instant classic. And I'm here. Me, DJ, is here with Justin and Casey, who I think is echoing because he didn't put his headphones in. But anyway, we ain't gonna talk about that. We ain't gonna talk about
Yeah, I muted him. I
see,
got him.
see?
I can
Audio
unmute
engineer
it.
me, please.
I can unmute it though.
Damn, how does he have
That's true.
control?
That's
Why
true.
did we give him
Also,
control?
I ain't got no popcorn. You told me to get popcorn.
Oh yeah, go run up there real quick, get your popcorn and your drink.
I ain't
And
got
get
no
your headphones.
popcorn
Get
though.
your headphones also.
Gotta have that.
No, you
You
get
gotta
your
have
own
that.
damn
You
headphones.
gotta have that. But anyway, we talking about this Royal Rumble 2024, and I'm excited because I feel like there's a lot of potential surprises that could come out of this. Like I really do. I feel like there is time for momentum right now. I don't know about y'all. I don't know how y'all feeling. Casey, what you think? What you think about this Royal Rumble extravaganza?
I think that we're gonna have 30 men
Okay.
go into Royal Rumble.
You sure we're
And
not
I
doing
think-
40 this time? You sure we're not doing 40?
I think we're gonna have 58 men go into Royal Rumble, and at least 57 of them are gonna get thrown out
57 of them, you say?
Are you doing Southern math?
until one man stands supreme, and that man's name is CM Punk.
Okay. What we will definitely get into that. We'll start the show off with the Royal Rumble preview, and if you stay tuned in long enough, we'll talk a little bit about WWE trying to slide over to the streaming platforms. But anyway, well, they successfully slid
Wait,
into
they
the
trying to
DMs.
slide into DMs?
They slid into the Netflix DMs, but we're gonna talk about that a little bit later. But
Oh,
Royal Rumble 2024. Let's hop into the preview. I'm excited.
I
I think this
I
could
didn't give
be
my thoughts on the show or what I think I'm excited for.
okay. Yeah, go ahead.
can
You
we
know
do the
what?
review first?
Yeah, see, we do the review and then we do the
Yeah,
preview
that's what we do.
after. Yeah, see, we're doing the
I
review.
think we do the
first.
review first, and then I don't really talk about the preview.
Yeah. So to be honest, the card looks pretty predictable. I mean, the undercard. You know, with the Fatal 4-Way.
I don't even know what the undercard is, to be honest.
There's really okay. So you got Kevin Owens and Logan Paul for the United States title,
Okay, don't care.
and then you got Roman Reigns defending the undisputed Universal Championship against Randy Orton. Oh God, Randy Orton, who's the rest of the people in the match now. It's a Fatal 4-Way. I know that.
This man don't even know.
There's two more people in the match.
It is,
that would-
it is
that
Randy
would
Orton,
make it-
AJ Styles, and LA Knight.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah. But I mean, the things that I'm looking most forward to are the two Royal Rumble matches. I mean, the women's match seems a little bit more unpredictable. Like, I feel like anything can happen. But I feel like the men's Rumble is like be really predictable. But like, because there's only like 4 people who I could see really winning the match. But I don't know. I'm excited for the Rumble. You know, it's always a fun pay per view to watch. You know, see all the returns, see the surprises I would get. Hopefully, I'm not let down by some of the surprises. But you know,
I,
I'm not gonna go in with like high expectations though.
and you know, of course, we'll talk about them. I'm expecting some big surprises. There's a lot of key free agents out there. There's a lot of guys and gals we haven't seen in WWE or haven't seen in a while. So I think WWE needs to pull the trigger on some of these people. I don't even care if it's for one night contracts. I don't care. I want the old school Royal Rumble feel of being surprised and happy and upset at the same time. But let's jump into the undercard first, and then we will We'll go from there.
I mean,
so
we already got the first match pulled up here. I mean, we got the Rumble match first.
we want to start with the Rumble match. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm good with that. You know, you could have literally just went to the last slide if you want, but they probably will start.
You don't start with the main events. What's wrong with you?
But they probably will start the show with one Rumble match and then
end the
show with another. You know how WWE is. But for the women's Rumble match, I will say I'm expecting surprises because I think I'm expecting either Naomi or Sasha Banks to come back in this. If we saw CM Punk come back, I think we can see Sasha Banks and Naomi come back. I just do. Like, I think this is the time for WWE, and it's funny. Justin and I talked about this because when we were talking about Hard to Kill, at least previewing the show, we were saying that Naomi losing the title opens the door up for her to come back to WWE. Because there's been rumors about it. It's been speculation. There's been a lot of potential around it, but it's always been one of those things where it's like, who really knows, right? And I think she could be one of the surprises in this match. I honestly I feel like WWE should throw as much money as they have at Sasha and at Naomi to have them come back. And don't tell anybody. Don't tell a soul. Right, don't tell us. Leave it up to anticipation. Leave it up, kind of like we said with the CM Punk thing. It may have been semi-expected, but you don't believe it until you see it. And it's the same thing with those two right now. Like, you won't believe it until you see it. And the amount of momentum that WWE can have going into WrestleMania by bringing those two back, or at least one of the two back, is huge. Especially with Punk being back, and then to kind of bolster the women's roster up a little bit, especially with the injury to Charlotte, because I know they probably want to do something with Charlotte and Rhea again at Mania before she got injured. So with that injury, I think they need one more person. I think they would benefit from one or two more people on the women's roster, especially when we talk about surprises in the women's match. Now, who is winning the women's match?
I want you guys should give your final fours. Who you think the final four is going to be for both the men's? Well, when we get to the men's later,
I'm gonna have to give this some thoughts. Okay, Justin, I'm gonna skip down to you and let you give yours since you didn't put us all on the spot like that.
Okay. Yeah. So some surprises who I hope that shows up. You mentioned Naomi and Sasha Banks. I definitely could see both of them coming into the Rumble. What I would love to see, Naomi or Trinity, she's still signed, maybe she still has a contract with TNA, and maybe that ends up maybe getting like a partnership or something. I don't know. That's a long term. That's like a far stretch there. I don't really see that happening. But yeah, I could definitely see, both of them being in the Rumble. And then you also mentioned CM Punk, CM Punk, returning back at Survivor Series. What if AJ Lee shows up in the Rumble? I wouldn't mind seeing AJ Lee show up. I don't know. Maybe they might bring back, maybe some Hall of Famers. I don't know. It's the women's match is like, a lot more unpredictable. Like I said. But as it goes, who I think it's gonna be the final four, I think it's gonna be Bailey. I'm gonna say Sasha Banks. I'm gonna say Sasha Banks. I'll throw Becky in there, and then I will say, let me think of someone. Let me think of somebody here.
Not Nia Jax.
No, not Nia Jax. Even though I could definitely see Becky and maybe Liv Morgan. Maybe Liv Morgan makes a return here. I could definitely see her coming out.
Do you think Alexa's ready to return?
What's that?
You think Alexa's ready to return?
I think that would be interesting.
This would be a good time for her to return, I think.
That would be. Yeah, I think I'll throw Liv in there. I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna say Bailey, Sasha, Liv, and what did I say for the fourth person?
Did you
Becky.
say Becky? Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
So you said Bailey, Liv, Sasha, Becky.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
Okay.
those. There's a couple of them that are kind of long shots, but we'll see what happens. So,
I think for me, I would say, I think if Sasha comes back, I think Sasha wins number one if she comes back. But I think it'll be Sasha, Bailey, Bianca, and Becky, right? Because Bianca's going to be in the Final Four. It's Bianca Belair. She's going to be.
Yeah, I'm taking Liv out there. I think Beck. I think that Bianca will be there. Yeah.
I mean, we know how this goes. She's going to definitely be in there. But I think Sasha ultimately wins. That's what I'm feeling.
Now, I think it's going to be Bailey who wins the match because, I see this split coming up with like Damage Control.
Yeah.
And I feel like she's going to.
Oh, she could challenge Io
Sky at WrestleMania. Yeah. She hasn't had that really big moment. I mean, out of the 4 Horsewomen. I mean, really, neither has Sasha Banks.
She was Bailey 2 belts. What do you mean?
I mean, yeah, but like, I don't know. It feels like it's been so long ago. I feel like she deserves something big here at WrestleMania. So I say let Bailey win the Rumble.
Okay, Casey, what you thinking down there? How you feeling about this women's Royal Rumble? How you feeling, my friend?
Well, I have the confirmed Final Fours for this match.
Okay.
It's gonna be and they're really surprising us with this one. They really are this year. It's gonna be Bull Nakano, Alundra Blaze, Molly Holly, and DJ Mama.
Oh my god!
The winner is obviously gonna be DJ Mama.
Yes.
Yes, I'm excited for it.
That's it. That's what's gonna happen. You can put your money on that.
Okay. I'm sure that's literally all you have to say.
No, that's the actual Final Four.
Oh my god!
Are you expecting any surprises?
I just told you the surprise.
Okay. Just saying.
This guy.
All right. Moving on.
I guess we're moving on.
And AJ Lee.
Okay.
And AJ Lee. Okay.
I don't know. I hear so many people being like, "Oh, she posted on Instagram pictures of her training and shit," and I'm like, just because CM Punk is back doesn't mean that. I mean, would it be cool? Yeah, but like, I don't know.
Okay.
I feel like we don't get big surprises anymore, so I'm not like getting myself hyped up for a big surprise.
What would be a big surprise for you, Casey?
DJ Mama. And
me too.
I don't. I mean, like, obviously, I want to see some like legends come back because those are always exciting, even though we know they're gonna get eliminated. But I haven't fully paid attention to WWE enough recently to like. Obviously, I'd love to see Alexa come back, but as far as any of like the storylines, I don't know. I thought.
Yeah, I don't know where Alexa will fit into like a lot of these storylines that are going on right now. Like
this man interrupting me, my words. He was coming in. I was trying to say I didn't even know Damage Control was still a thing anymore. This man I'm literally saying words. And he's like, nah, I'm gonna talk over you because I got a girlfriend now. Jerk. I hope we get her on the podcast and she just talks shit about you the whole time.
Uh,
Okay. Let's move on to the next match we got in the list. Okay, the Fatal 4-Way WWE World Heavyweight Championship match, which I don't expect this to be in this order, but I definitely expect
Why does
the
AJ look fabulous? Bruh. What did they do? Sorry.
Speaking of, it's a Fatal 4-Way match between AJ Styles, LA Knight, uh, Randy Orton, and Roman Reigns. I feel like this is a way to get a bunch of people on the card all at the same time. That kind of have had run-ins with Roman a little bit, but not necessarily they're going to win. And I honestly think this could possibly break off into a Mania match between two of the three others, right? Roman retains, but I almost feel like somebody takes out the other. You ruin my shot, blah blah blah, and they go after it. And I'm trying to think. Has AJ and Randy ever really faced off in WWE?
I don't think so, really. I not that I recall, because I don't have that good memory, and I kind of have that
What?
all
You
time.
remember everything? You literally remember matches to the date. Like, what do you mean?
Nah, not even.
But I don't think it's happened either, and I think it would be one like the way Mania is setting up. It's setting up for a really interesting card with a lot of matches that either we haven't seen before or we've been waiting for the last couple of years or so. So because I mean, you got Punk and Rollins more than likely.
And then
You
Rollins,
got
he's also suffered like with an MCL and like I'm pretty sure an ACL injury. He mentioned that on Raw.
yeah.
But he didn't relinquish the title, which is very interesting. He says like he wants to like. I think the injury is like gonna be he could be out for like from 3 to 4 months.
Yeah, I think they'll probably slow their roll on him in the ring and have Punk take it off of him at Mania, and then with Roman, you can do. I mean, I know there's been potential of him and The Rock possibly. I don't know if I see that per se, but
I really want to see him run Roman and Cody back because what's the point of bringing him? What's the point of bringing him back if he's not going to finish his story?
Yeah, me too.
He should just go back to AEW at that point if he's not going to finish his story.
Yeah, that's the one I want to see more than anything.
Why would you want him to go back to AEW? What is wrong with you?
I'm just saying, like, if he's not going to do it, he should just go back to Stardust if he's not going to finish his story.
Stardust.
Go back to Stardust.
Can we kick him out?
Go back to being Stardust.
Maybe.
Can you kick him out?
No. I'm trying my best. But I feel like, of course, Roman retains, but like I said, something breaks off into this, out of this. Randy don't have nothing to do, and AJ don't really have nothing to do because he just came back too. So it'd be perfect time to have that match. And I mean, that's a Mania-worthy match. Roman and Cody's a Mania-worthy match again. Of course, Seth and CM Punk's a Mania-worthy match, and there's stories behind all of them. And of course, with AJ and Randy, you can build something out of that really good with those two. So that's how I'm feeling about that. Justin, you got any thoughts?
Yeah, I see this match being really predictable. I mean, Roman, he's definitely not losing the title here. Do you think we see like a certain, Dwayne The Rock Johnson show up here? Do you think?
I don't think I see him here. I think he's in the Rumble.
You think he's gonna be?
Because I mean, why would you? My thing is, if you're gonna have him show up, why don't you have him show up in the Rumble? I think he actually, he's on like the board of directors or something now.
Yeah, with TKO, yeah. So, I saw that earlier on the news today.
Yeah, so I mean, for me, if you're gonna have The Rock at the show, just have him in the Rumble, even if it's like short lived, even if I don't know, like whatever you need to do. But I would say, because I mean, and it's hard because LA Knight is the most over person in the world right now. But even if they could get a Mania match out of Rock with The Rock's pop and LA Knight's pop in the same ring at the same time against each other, that would be interesting. So,
But yeah, I don't see Roman Reigns losing here. I think it's gonna be a good match. There's gonna be a lot of drama in this match, a lot of shenanigans. The bloodline getting involved. You know how Roman Reigns matches usually go. Yeah, I definitely see maybe like one person costing another. Maybe like AJ and like LA Knight, because they have kind of been feuding for a little bit. They kind of have like a backstory because LA Knight took AJ Styles spot back at like Fastlane, and he's kind of been salty about that ever since. Because when LA Knight was tagging up with John Cena back at Fastlane, when AJ got taken out by the Bloodline, so maybe they kind of finished that story off, with AJ and LA Knight at Mania.
I also wouldn't be surprised to see Randy in some sort of Bloodline tag team match at Mania too. I kind of want to see him in a singles match, but I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up in some sort of tag team Bloodline match.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I got Roman Reigns retaining. Like everybody and their mama and my girlfriend's picking Roman Reigns.
She's acknowledging the tribal chief. Casey, what you thinking?
First of all, if I'm WWE, I'm not putting The Rock in the Rumble. I don't think it makes any sense.
Why?
Because what does that do? What does that add?
Because you want surprises for the Rumble. I'm not saying he wins it, but
yeah, but that's the thing. The Rock
everybody's expecting it.
I think The Rock is too big to. I think if you're going to do anything, you do something with Rock and Roman, especially with the Bloodline. Like, at the end of the day, The Rock is the head of the table, period. Like, he is the top of that bloodline, right?
That's debatable.
So if you do anything, you do something with Rock and Roman. And even though I don't want to see Rock versus Roman, because the storyline is going to be great, I don't know if the match would be great. I don't know. It could be a great match. I could be wrong, and I hope I would be wrong, and it could be like match of the night, 1 or 2. I don't, because I don't know which night it would be on. I think if you do that, I would almost book it as if, there's some sort of shenanigans with the bloodlines, obviously, to where they help Roman retain, and then Rock comes out at the end, and to cut a promo, and he's done with the bloodlines crap, blah blah blah. I'm the real head of the table, and then they set something up for Mania. With that, you could also set up something with AJ and LA Knight, and then you could do something with I would do something with Cody and Randy. I think that would make more sense, but I just obviously Roman's going to retain here. There's nothing would make sense with any of these guys winning the title, although any of them could be great champions. They're gonna keep the belt on Roman at least until Mania, and even then, I don't think they're gonna take it off of him. I don't know who takes it off of him, but I don't think they're gonna take it off of him.
Cody Rhodes.
He has to finish the story.
I don't think that's how he finishes the story, though.
Well, how does he?
Why are you whispering?
Yeah, we're gonna move on to the next match now. We got the United States Championship match. Logan Paul defending the title.
Hey.
What?
Hey,
you.
Hey,
yo.
Question. Why were you whispering? We're not going to move on to the next match until you answer the question.
We're doing ASMR.
This would be terrible.
Whatever he said. Anyway, Logan Paul, Kevin Owens. This match will be. this match will be incredible. This match may even be match of the night. There's only 2 matches announced right now, so this is about as good as I can get. But I will say this match will be one of the best matches we'll see. Just because Logan Paul has shown time and time again that he can put on a banger match, and we know what Kevin Owens can do. Now, does Kevin Owens take the title off of Logan Paul? I don't know, because the other thing is to have Logan Paul come in at, I almost feel like Logan Paul screws Kevin Owens out of it, and then we get the rematch at Mania. Then he takes it off him at Mania, because since you know that Logan Paul can work, and you know he's passionate about it, you've obviously given him the U.S. title. It's a perfect time to trickle all of those fans from Logan Paul's YouTube channel or whatever to see him defend the title at Mania. I mean, you're probably already trying it with this match at Rumble, but of course, Mania is the bigger deal. People, more casual fans, more people who haven't watched in a while, more people who are just Logan Paul fans would watch Logan Paul wrestle at WrestleMania as opposed to, and especially defend the title at WrestleMania as opposed to anything else. So, or any other show, I should say. So it's going to be a really good match. I think Logan Paul wins by hook or by crook, and then eventually ends up defending again at Mania, probably against Kevin Owens. But Justin, what you think?
Yeah, I agree with all the points you made. Like, I see Logan Paul some way. I see him like winning by heelish way. End up getting screwed out of this match here, and then they do a rematch at Mania, and then Kevin Owens gets it back. I don't know. I think it's gonna be a good match because Logan Paul, he's proven that he can work pretty good in the ring. Like when he's with the right people, he can go pretty good. And I wonder what like the special moment he's going to do this year, because last year that dive across the ring with him and Ricochet in that Rumble match, like that was the craziest spot. So I think that Kevin Owens and Logan Paul can pull out something really cool here. But yeah, Logan Paul, he's retaining the title here.
Okay, Casey, what you think?
I hate that god awful belt. It's so ugly. I hate it. I've hated it since day one. Anyway,
Like Raw
also who edited these match graphics, because like they
WWE.
I obviously, thank you, Captain Obvious, but like just there's something about them that
They look so photoshopped.
yes, like ugh. um I think that obviously there's going to be a retaining of the title by shenanigans, by tomfoolery, if you will, and it's going to lead to a rematch, a war, if you will, a ladder war. No, no ladder war. I, 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 I was hoping for a ladder war.
I'd be pretty fired to see. Not gonna lie, I would love to see that Mania.
Yeah,
We haven't seen a good ladder war in a while. I'm just saying.
since the last ladder war, I would say, But
Right?
yeah.
Yeah.
To the men's match. All right, so I think Gunther ends up being Final Four. I think Punk obviously ends up being Final Four. I think Cody ends up being Final Four. And I think they put The Rock in the Rumble. He ends up being Final Four, and gets screwed out of it by like the Bloodline or something. But it would. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Drew was Final Four or Shinsuke. But I definitely think. I mean, they've been running with Gunther for a while, and he's always in the top of the top when it comes to the Rumble. So it'll be interesting to see what they do. I definitely think CM Punk wins the match and goes on to WrestleMania. I think you give him his Royal Rumble moment. You give him his Mania moment this year. Cody had his Royal Rumble moment last year, and he finally gets his Mania moment, I think, later on too. So that's how I'm feeling. Surprise-wise, like I said, The Rock, I think, would be a good one. I would love to see. Now I know he just appeared on Impact literally last week, but I mean, do what you got to do. Don't care. Spend whatever money you got to spend. Sign him to a 1-day contract. Don't care. I would love to see Okada and have him have a little face off with Nakamura, him have a little face off with maybe AJ Styles. If AJ Styles is also in this match, I would like to see that. I think that would be cool. I'm trying to think of anybody else. Is there anybody else? I feel like I'm missing somebody big that's a free agent. Of course, it won't be Dolph or anything like that, but
Doink the Clown.
um, I can't think of anybody off the top of my head, but I do feel like there will be an influx of NXT talent. I think Carmelo Hayes will be in this match because he was in the U.S. title tournament. I feel like he'll be in this match. I feel like Braun Breaker will be in this match.
Baker? Is he bacon?
Yes, he is. I feel like he'll be in this match. I don't think this will happen, but a cool surprise, interesting surprise, really good, like heartfelt surprise would be Big E. I don't see it, but just wishful thinking here. But we'll see. I feel like R-Truth will do some shenanigans in this match, and it'll be hilarious. So I think that'll be good. But Justin, what you think about the men's Rumble?
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a pretty solid Rumble match. But for my final four, I'm gonna say obviously it's gonna be CM Punk. I'm gonna throw Cody in there, Gunther, and then my fourth person, I'm gonna say Jey Uso. Why not? I'm gonna say Jey Uso is in there. Maybe he ends up costing Drew or something. I don't know, because Drew, he's been going off on tangents lately. How all of his everything's getting taken away from him. So I don't know. Maybe something. Someone's gonna screw Drew McIntyre here, and he's just gonna go off more on tangents. As far as surprises go,
maybe it's him. Maybe no, Drew's a heel now though. I was thinking maybe it was him and Randy that go against the Bloodline, but
I don't know. I mean, Drew. He's been doing more heelish type of stuff, but then again, like I don't know. He's more of like a tweener now. Like, I mean, because he wants to act like a face sometimes, and then he goes like, no, everything's just been taken away from him. Like he had to, he was the champion during the pandemic and all that. He carried WWE on his back during the darkest time in WWE. But yeah, as far as surprises go, I mean, yeah, I could definitely see The Rock. I could see The Rock involved. Okada, yeah, like Okada's another good one. Watch, but I mean, by the time we get done recording this video, I'm gonna think of like 10 more people to be involved in the match.
And he's gonna release them exclusively on the Instant Classic Wrestling Podcast Twitter.
Yes, we're gonna put it on our Patreon. That's what we're gonna put it on. So you guys subscribe $5 a month.
You can find it.
We have a Patreon.
No.
Stop selling your feet pics on our Patreon.
No, we're gonna put it on our OF. So if you want to see the exclusive
our
stuff,
OnlyFans where we only sell fans.
Yes.
We got box fans, we got swivel fans, we got hand fans.
Smart.
All the fans. But yeah, if you want to see the exclusives, go subscribe. Go definitely subscribe.
There's nowhere to subscribe. Don't do it. Don't listen to him.
And if you're searching already, you're wasting your time. And blame Justin. Unsubscribe to Justin's channel, not ours.
But yeah, I mean, CM Punk is obviously gonna win this match here. It's gonna be a fun match, but it's just really predictable. Like, I wish they would still do. Oh, what's that? It's like that lotto thing. Like they spin the thing.
You talking about a big lotto? They're gonna have big lotto on there.
No, I'm talking about the spinner thing, and then you get your ball out, and then you get your number. See, I hate how these wrestlers be declaring for the Rumble match. You're like, oh, I'm gonna be in the Rumble match. Of course you're gonna be in the Rumble match. Of course you're gonna be in the match. Like, you don't need to be declaring for the match. Like, I like that surprise.
That I'm gonna be in the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, okay. Casey's in the Rumble. CR O'Malley is in the Rumble. And then we're gonna have DJ.
It's actually gonna be Casey and CR O'Malley.
You know what? I just thought of another surprise who I could definitely see, and it's a woman who I can see in this match.
Right? Got it.
It's a woman I can see in this match. Mommy, aka Rhea Ripley. You know, we haven't seen a women in a Rumble match for a little while now, and
they
I
have
would love
their
to
own.
see. I love to see Rhea Ripley mixed it up with some of these guys
But
because
they get
mom
the
was always
women's
on top.
I would like to see like her have a little face off with Damian Priest, especially since they've been kind of bickering back and
Hey
forth.
DJ,
Yes.
you said we got 30 minutes. It's been 35 minutes. You want
Shut
to let
up.
you know?
Shut up. Anyway, because we still got a whole nother topic left. But anyway, we tried our best. Okay. Casey, what you think about this match?
I don't care who's going to be in the final four. I like the ideas of the final four because there's always like a final four, but like at the same time, I feel like at that point we already know who, like, generally each year we all know who's going to be the winner or who is most likely to win. Anyway, obviously I'm pretty sure CM Punk's gonna win. It's just I think if he doesn't win, the fans are gonna riot. Um, as for surprises, I don't know. I if there was like like a big star that like left AEW recently, I'd be
Tony
like,
Khan.
yeah, I'd love to see that because just to see the AEW fans lose their minds. Um, Dolph Ziggler, man, no. I don't know. I just I kind of want to just watch it, and if there are surprises, just be surprised and not like
Yeah.
overthink who I would like to see or who I think is going to be there. Because I think it's more fun to just sit back and watch and like, oh, hey, so and so came back.
Yeah.
Or the years when there's no surprises. We've had many of those.
We look back and watch watch those over and over again.
Yeah. But yeah, CM Punk, I'm I'm not gonna even gonna say I know he's gonna win because it's WWE and they could change in a whim and like freaking Vince could come out and win some I don't know. But yeah, it'll be fun. I hope Punk wins because that's the only one that makes sense. Um, I don't think Cody needs to win again. He already won. I don't think that's gonna do anything for him. Um, so
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
Okay.
Bobby Lashley.
So that will do it for our preview for the Royal Rumble, which I'm excited for. I'm excited to see what's going to happen. But let's jump into this other big news that we had, which was WWE Raw going to Netflix next year, January 2025, as you can see on your screen. If you're watching, if you're not watching, and you may be on the audio platforms, that's what it says on your screen. But anyway, this
We gotta wait a whole year for this.
yes,
Bruh.
it's interesting, like, and I feel like we've all kind of talked about this, and I know Justin and I have talked about it when it comes down to TNA, right? And we're like, why doesn't TNA try to get on Netflix, right? Like, for the simple fact of Netflix doesn't have any other live programs. Like, this would be it. Whatever, I would, and not even necessarily TNA in general. TNA was the one I thought about because we always talk about the TV deal and like getting them on a bigger platform and this, that, and the third. But I think it was about time that somebody tapped in to the streaming aspect of this whole thing. And of course, WWE has experience with the network and Peacock and all that. And of course, I feel like they saw probably the numbers from what was that Peacock exclusive game, the Dolphins Chiefs game a couple weeks ago, where it just blew streaming numbers out the water and whatnot. And they're like, there's an audience obviously for sports, live programming, live stuff like this on here. And this will be, and with it being Netflix exclusive, number one, you get the people from Netflix who are already on Netflix. So you got those people. Netflix gets new subscribers in terms of people who want to watch WWE, desire to watch WWE. But it's just interesting. Like, it makes my biggest question that I've been fighting with, and I don't know how you guys have felt about this whole thing, but my biggest question that I've been fighting about this with is the whole not being on TV thing, right? Like I expected, you know, maybe you're on USA Monday at 8 o'clock, and then you're also on Netflix or whatever, right? But like to be exclusive to Netflix, that's interesting to me. Now, a friend of mine made a good point, and please remind me to say it because I don't want you guys to lose your point and my point. So a friend of mine made a good point, and I'm gonna hold it right now as we get to everybody else's thoughts about the fact of Netflix being Netflix. So let's go with Casey first. Casey, how you feeling about WWE going to Netflix? What you think? And y'all might say my point, which I'm gonna be real mad if y'all do.
I when I first heard it, I thought it was kind of dumb. And the reason I say this is because, first of all, you started off having your own network, the WWE network, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you got that huge deal with Peacock to basically put the network, at least in the US for now, on Peacock. So why would, if you wanted to put Raw as an exclusive like on a streaming platform, you already have all of your stuff on Peacock. Why wouldn't you just put it on Peacock?
Yeah.
That just didn't make sense to me. And I get it, they're going to get however millions of dollars to do this, okay? But just that doesn't make sense to me.
My thing, Casey, was I was wondering who they, and I don't know why I thought football, but obviously it's not football because
Right.
I'm thinking of Monday Night Football. But I'm just like, my thought was, oh, maybe they're competing with some other live program on Hulu. But I mean, I don't know if there's any other live program that's as big as what WWE is, even at WWE's current state. Like,
well, yeah, and also, and Adam and I were talking about this a little bit because apparently they're still going to have commercials even on the streaming. So me and Adam both thought, well, if you're going to go on Netflix, you should probably cut it down again to 2 hours because one, for me, I'm not watching anything on Netflix for 3 hours. Period.
Netflix and chill.
I don't care if it's live, WWE. I'm not going to watch anything on Netflix for 3 hours. And I don't think a lot of people are. I think this gives you an opportunity to cut it down to 2 hours because, yes, they always talk about that extra third hour is, where they make all their money. You're already getting millions of dollars from Netflix to put to put Raw as an exclusive to Netflix.
yeah,
Cut it down to 2 hours, make it more palatable for people, and then maybe this will work out. But again,
I never thought of
you
that.
already
Casey.
have your stuff over on Peacock. Why would you then just randomly put Raw on Netflix? That's what's not making sense to me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't think about the cutting it down to 2 hours thing, but I will say, I thought the same thing when I heard it. I was like, but your entire library is on Peacock. Why wouldn't you just go to Peacock? Now I could see like maybe hoping to get. I mean, the hope would be, right? You would get, let's say there's 1 million subscribers on Peacock that are WWE subscribers, like they love WWE. If you could shift those over to Netflix, then of course Netflix, it's advantageous. So I think it's more so who was going to offer WWE the most money, right?
Yeah, because
And
Netflix is offering them they offer them $5 billion.
yeah,
$5 billion. I mean, WWE,
yeah,
they are making money moves right
Okay.
now, with the whole.
Honestly, I will say, if they could get a deal to put the whole network over on Netflix, I think that's a better deal in general
hmm
because more people are already subscribed to Netflix
yeah,
in general than Peacock.
yeah.
So
Well,
if you're gonna put Raw there, why don't you just make a deal to put everything over there?
yeah, and that was my thing was I was just thinking maybe they were trying to get a bigger audience in Netflix,
Right.
but also I just get as we kind of had this conversation and things kind of came to my mind, I was thinking, well, Netflix probably offered the most amount of money to say, like, hey, I feel like Netflix probably offered the most amount of money, and WWE was like, hey, this is,
Also,
you can have it.
Also, and another thing, Netflix has been a streaming platform a lot longer, way longer than Peacock. And I think, and I was talking about this last night too with Adam, because I was watching Great American Bash 06 because I wanted to watch the Punjabi prison match. And I was talking about it, and then it happened. They still have issues with the app crashing when you're watching shows. Netflix doesn't have that. I can't remember the last time Netflix just randomly crashed on me. So right there, you're gonna have better quality, viewing. I think in general, if they're gonna go with Netflix, I think you go all in.
Yeah. Okay.
Justin, if they'll give you a good deal, if they'll give you enough money.
Yeah. Justin, what do you think?
When I first heard the news, I was going, "Wow, Monday Night Raw is going to be moving to Netflix." Which, like, in case you brought up that really good point, like, why didn't they just have Monday Night Raw and have like SmackDown and NXT, have everything just be exclusively live on Peacock, since that's what they're already under right now. But you brought up the money point, which I mean, I think there was also Amazon Prime was also in the running as well. I heard maybe Paramount. I heard that they wanted to get in on this deal, but hey, I mean Netflix. Netflix offered them $5 billion. I mean, WWE they're making huge money moves right now, and I don't know how long their contract and how long they're going to be having this deal for, and I'm not sure like with the whole Peacock stuff. But I feel like when their Peacock deal is over, I feel like everything will be getting transferred over to Netflix, and we'll have to do this whole transfer again. Because I was like reading about, I think that I think they're going to do like pay-per-views on there as well. Maybe I'm not exactly sure, but it's definitely going to be interesting. Because when I was thinking about it at first, I was going like, huh, maybe the reason why they're going to Netflix is because maybe the numbers are down for Netflix. Maybe because I don't know. I mean, I don't watch Netflix like I used to and stuff. But
does Netflix have live anything on there?
I don't believe so.
They've tried some stuff. They've tried some stuff like here and there, but nothing consistent. No.
Yeah. So maybe this is just the first big thing that they're trying, and
I think
it works.
Yeah.
And
I think it is.
And I also like the point you brought up about cutting it down to 2 hours. Like you said, no one's coming. No one's gonna be watching Netflix for 3 hours. Watching Monday Night Raw for 3 hours, and no one's gonna be doing that.
So, another point too, that one of my friends had made. This is the point I was waiting on, just in case you guys were waiting with bated breath or anything. But another point that one of my friends had made, shout out to Bingo, he said that there's a possibility that WWE could become more adult themed, right? Like a more what we've been waiting for, but haven't been able to because of USA Network and the FCC regulations. Whereas Netflix still has some sort of course, TV streaming regulations, but it's not nearly as strict, I don't think, as a USA Network or a Fox or whatever. So it could honestly not necessarily get back to the Attitude Era, but they could have a little bit more of an edginess to them without feeling like they're going to step on anybody's toes or sponsors' toes or whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
So
I definitely see that. Because hey, and it's also weird because Raw's gonna be on Netflix, okay, and SmackDown is moving to the USA Network in I think October of this year. Is it October? Maybe I might be wrong. But yeah, so SmackDown's moving to USA, and then NXT is moving to the CW later on this year. And then Raw is going to be on a streaming platform. Maybe they're just testing the waters to see how
they're testing the waters for 10 years though.
I don't know. I mean, they could have done it back in 2014. You know, they could have put Raw live on the network. I don't know. This is gonna be. Is this interesting to see here?
You know what? You know another thing I thought of.
What's that?
What this would be a perfect time. Now, of course, you got to have the product to back it up, but AEW should put a show in the 8 o'clock time slot on USA.
Hey.
Why is that? Because literally Raw has been on, like, there's been wrestling on that time slot for however many years. There's going to be a lot of people knee-jerk reaction. Oh, let me watch Raw tonight. Let me see what's going on. I flip over to USA. If it's AEW, oh wow, that's interesting.
I think, and this kind of goes back to a classic Rabid logic. I think you need to prove that you can have a consistently good show with storylines that make sense and stuff like that, and be adding to your. I think that's another thing that like networks really need to look into, and I don't know if they do. They may already, but like, are the shows that are on our network, are they adding viewers? Are they getting more viewers, or are they just either staying stagnant or are they losing viewers? Because that's been one of the major problems. And being completely subjective, like, I'm not saying anything about the CM Punk thing. I'm not saying anything about the Bucks, anything about that. But just the viewership, all they've cared about is basically these hardcore fans, the fans that are going to watch no matter what because they're huge fans of the Bucks or whatever. They're not trying to get the casual fan in,
right,
like a WWE would do, you know.
Yeah.
Now, when they can start doing that, okay, then yes, give them a time slot on USA Network. That's what I want them to do. I want them to have, you know, intriguing stories that I can want to come back to every week and watch AEW, but I also want them to be trying to get the new fans in.
Yeah, well, because my whole point was, in order to get, I mean, you almost like inadvertently get new eyes on your product just by being in the slot that Raw used to be in. And the couple of people who might be like, oh, I haven't watched Raw, you know, they might even see a commercial or something for WWE, and they'll be like, oh, Raw used to come on Mondays on USA. Let me go check it out. Then they see AEW, boom, you might have a new fan just because they just happen to stumble upon it. I'm not saying they will do it. I just think it's a smart business. I'm just thinking of a business strategy.
But then also, like I said, you have to prove that you deserve that, because that's a primetime spot.
That's true. Yeah,
they're not just going to give that to anybody.
That's
you know?
True.
Yeah,
that's true. I definitely agree with you on that.
I gotta say, AEW, it's your move now. You know, your move to get on the streaming platform. I mean, especially with their pay-per-views. You know, I'm tired of them being on Bleacher Report. You know, like paying $50 for each pay-per-view. It's time for them to, you know, get a deal. I mean, there's been talks about them, you know, getting on Max and stuff, but I mean, they need it's their move now. You know, the ball is in their court.
I got one more question just to bring up real quick. Like, how do you think this changes not only the landscape of wrestling for the future for TV wise and viewers and whatnot, but like even like just our viewing experience? I think for me, I would enjoy it a little more on Netflix because I don't really get to watch it live. Like if I got to watch it live, I might be, you know, I'm waiting as much as I can wait, you know, every week to get to Monday night 8 o'clock. Whereas, you know, nowadays I don't necessarily do that because I don't watch it live. But I think as things continued, like these streaming services continue to kind of take over what cable is, become cable replacements, it just makes you think, like, is this going to be the future of what wrestling is? Like, because it's funny, like we spent so many years talking about TV deals and TV deals. You got to get on you got to get on a network. You got to get on a big network. You got to, even with AEW in its infancy, we're like, you got to get on a big network. And now it's like,
it's crazy. We talked about TNA or Impact Wrestling. We talked about, you know, TNA. They need to get on Netflix.
Idea. They didn't want to know. They didn't want to listen to me. Now, albeit once again, kind of like Casey just said, you have to have the product for me to want to pay that amount of money for you. Now, albeit not everything's not equal, right? Like,
Yeah.
Netflix is not going to pay $5 billion for TNA, and as much as I love TNA, right? They're just not, right? And it's not that, it's one of those situations where you got to kind of build your product up to show like you're worth, I don't know, $500,000, $1 million, whatever it may be, for me to want to stream your show. And I'm not saying TNA hasn't done that, but TNA hasn't gotten out of their own way to show that they can do that.
And I'm going to be honest, for me anyway, even if Raw goes to Netflix, even if, AEW gets a deal with like Max or whatever, or Impact were to get a deal with whatever, that doesn't necessarily mean I'm just going to start watching it live just because of my, daily schedule in general. But I think it would make it easier for people to watch it because just go onto the streaming platform, go to Raw, whatever, go to AEW, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I barely watch. I still have cable, but I barely watch anything on there. Unless it's like a football game or some sort of sporting event, whatever that's on there that I'm gonna watch. But I don't really watch cable in general, especially not specific shows every week. It's again, I'll go on to Peacock and I'll watch an old pay-per-view or whatever, or
Yeah.
it's just my schedule doesn't allow that, just with work and everything, and like
Right.
wrestling and stuff.
Yeah, and shout out to Cage My IQ. He brought up a good point. First things first, he said, I thought YouTube and TNA Plus was a great cost-effective way to showcase their worth to a potential suitor with the commercial-free aspect of it.
That is a really good point he brings up because with like the Impact Ultimate Insiders or whatever it is on YouTube, like $1.99, you can watch each episode live of TNA with commercial free. So that's really a good thing.
And it's a way for TNA to still make money. They may not be making the same amount of money that they would make by having a $1 billion TV deal, right? But at the same time, like you have you have your TV deal with Access, right? You make the money off of whatever that would be, but at the same time, are they still not? Yeah. But at the same time, like you said, you have that YouTube avenue where you can monetize, and then also you have the TNA Plus where you can get your hardcore fans to stay on. And obviously, Justin, you and I of course talked about this too. Like people watch TNA's YouTube stuff. Whether it be the clips, the highlights, the full matches, whatever they show, people like to watch it because people are still interested in TNA, no matter what people say about TNA, right? People are still interested in what TNA is going to do, right? What TNA is going to do next, what they're up to, why their name is TNA again, why they're not Impact anymore, why they don't have a 6-sided ring. People want to know, right? So that, I think there's an interest in that. But I do want to the last point before we get on out of here. Shout out to Cage My IQ again. He said apparently they're working on a new deal. What do you think that is? I'm assuming he's talking about good old All Elite Wrestling. I think they'll stay on Turner, to be honest. I think they'll stay on some sort of Turner-owned station. I'm trying to think of what the Turner-owned stations are.
So it's TNT, TBS. Is it True TV?
Yeah, True TV, Boomerang.
What's Boomerang? Boomerang's not really. Isn't that like a streaming?
It's like one of those, like, you know how HBO used to be back in the day, like it's like a premium package type thing. So they wouldn't do that. True TV, I think, is one. Cartoon Network, that'd be interesting to see.
Cartoon Network.
Could we get like a cartoon version of wrestling on that would be interesting.
You know what they should do? They should do like a simulcast. Have like how I think they were doing it for like a football game one time. Maybe for the
Disney thing.
They were doing it for the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
and like there was like it was like the cartoon.
Every time there's a super kick, you get the slime.
But yes, it has to be in cartoon form. Like everything has to be like looks arcadey.
Yeah. So, and that's a good point. So, like, I think they will stay on one of those networks. And if AEW is as bad as people say it is, it'll probably be True TV. But I think they will. I mean, I could see them staying on TBS or TNT because I'm gonna be honest with you. People don't really watch TBS or TNT. I don't think. Like, I think, and that's just, that goes back to live TV. That goes back to what live TV is right now. But at the same time, it's like I don't even know what's on that program. I don't even know what's on those channels except for
It's just movie. It's just basically movies that are on these channels. Like they show a lot of replay of movies.
All I know is Law and Order is on like one of them at some point before
I
or
think
after.
it's on TNT.
Yeah. So, I do have one more sidebar point.
Okay, go ahead.
Before we leave.
Before we slide on out of here.
Yeah.
And Practical Jokers, great show, still to this day.
That was a good show.
Before we slide out of the DMs.
Okay, go ahead.
So, and we could probably do a completely separate episode fully talking about this, but I wanted to get you guys' thoughts on the merger, apparently, of the USFL and XFL, because
I was wondering about that.
Because we've seen the journey of the XFL and just how they just cannot catch a break. Whether it was
they can catch a break. They take plenty of breaks.
They take plenty of breaks. See, back in 2020, they were actually doing a pretty good thing, but then when the pandemic hit, it just like derailed.
They had like 3 games, and then the pandemic hit.
Which I think they were doing decent, but then that just derailed everything, and then they went bankrupt, or didn't they go bankrupt? Yeah. Or they had to file for bankruptcy.
Well, then they came back, like, was it last year or something like that? They had a full season.
Mm-hmm.
I watched like 3 of the games or whatever because it was on weird days. Like it was on like Saturdays, and I feel like they had like games on Tuesdays or something like that.
It was interesting though, Casey. I saw The Rock in one of the promos, and I was like, did the XFL go away or something, or what? And I looked it up, but I never really found my answer. So I guess you answered my.
Apparently the USFL or the UFL or something like that, and the XFL are merging.
Yeah. I think it's a good. I mean, shout out to Case My IQ again, just for keeping us informed here, because like I said, I had no idea, but I find it interesting though, the whole merger thing, because kind of like you said, the XFL has the worst luck in the history of any football league there's ever been. But I will say, I think it's good. I think the merger is good because you put those talent pools together, right? And I think we saw, especially in 2020, we saw that having. I feel like we saw that having a league that's in the summer, springish time, right? I feel like that helped kind of supplement the NFL a little bit. And when I say supplement the NFL, I mean like,
they're calling it the United Football League. That's a new name that they're calling it, the United Football League.
But I feel like it gave us something else to watch outside of regular football, right? Outside of NFL football. But also, like, a lot of people got jobs off of it, right? PJ Walker got jobs off of it. AJ McCarron, had chances to do this, that, and the third off of these kind of spring leagues. And like it for some of these guys, I think we talked about it way back when, or a while back or whatever. We talked about how for some of these guys, this is all they want, right? They want to play football because that's their livelihood, but they want their people to see
football.
It, right? They want their people to see it. They want their kids to see them. They want, their parents to see them that might not be able to go to an NFL game.
And I think especially for like, guys who aren't the Peyton Mannings, the Tom Brady's, the big stars, but maybe are like backups and stuff like that. It gives you the opportunity, almost like, with the NBA. There was a lot of guys who, during the off season of the NBA would play overseas.
Yeah.
it gives you that opportunity because I think this year the season starts. I think it's like March 30th is like the first
Mhm.
game.
Yeah.
So it's like that spring summer. So you can play. You can still play and still, especially like I said, for the guys who aren't the big stars, still make money for your family, still be able to play football, and
Yeah.
then for guys who are trying to get an opportunity to play in the NFL, it is shown that it gives guys that opportunity.
Yeah, and to Cage my IQ's point that he just said, when he was talking about being a feeder system for the NFL, it also opens up the door for, the NFL's been doing a whole lot of international games lately, right? And there's always been rumors of international teams and stuff like that. And I kind of mentioned like, um, what if you do like a G League, right, or this USFL, whatever, XFL, whatever, but that's kind of your overseas league, right? So you appease to the fans that are overseas that want football, that crave some sort of NFL connection. You still have your couple of international games, whatever, that's fine. But then at the same time, you give these other players opportunities. So I think it's a good idea. But any final thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, I think the spring league is cool to have, but I don't know. I don't really have a horse in the race. I don't really have a team I necessarily follow.
You just
Because they
find
don't
one.
have one in Kansas City. Ooh.
Okay, I follow the St. Louis Battlehawks. There we go. St. Louis. I mean, they're pretty close. They're not too far from good old Kansas City. But I don't know. I mean, it's good to have that alternative. To have a spring summer league. Because you have that training camp and all that, or you got yeah, you got training camp and all that. After Super Bowl, you feel like you want that football more, and then finally we have it here. I mean, it's cool to see. Um, it feels like NFL comes back really quick now, so I
Yeah,
mean
it
that's a
does.
good thing.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's cool having a spring and summer league.
it
It's
definitely is because
it's
I would always
still weird
like,
to have such a small league though.
yeah.
Yeah,
I,
Yeah.
8 teams.
Well, it
Yeah.
was funny. I always find myself during the NFL season watching like the CFL or something until the NFL comes on, just to like keep myself football entertained, I guess.
I want to watch the CFL more.
I
I've
like
been
it.
watching like
I like
videos.
it a lot. It was like I could never get into arena football. So if I would watch the CFL, it was close enough to where I was like, I still enjoyed
Yeah.
it.
Like there's stuff that I like about the CFL that I wish the NFL would adopt,
Hmm.
but
Yeah, but
that could be
Mhm.
another video we can
that's
talk
that
about.
right. That's a whole nother conversation for a whole nother day. I definitely hope you guys enjoyed the show. It was jam packed, full of everything, full of things I didn't even know was coming. Okay, I was like this, ha, 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 like that. All right,
Weren't
so
we supposed to? Didn't we have like a 30-minute time limit?
we did, and we went over just like by this much, by that much. But anyway, definitely hope you guys enjoyed the show. Be sure to subscribe to the Instant Classic Wrestling Podcast. Be sure to subscribe to Good Old Juggernaut 097. If
Don't
you
do
on the
that.
other side of, if you on the one channel, go to the other one and help the other one out. You know what I mean? But we'll definitely hope
Don't
you
do
guys
that.
enjoyed the show. Appreciate you, Cage by IQ, for coming by as well, hanging out with us, giving us some good conversations, some good little tidbits. But we'll definitely see you guys on the next episode of the Instant Classic Wrestling Podcast, the only podcast that is always, and I mean always, and of course they mean always, and Cage my IQ means always, an instant classic. All right, bye, y'all.